Hello, folks.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Welcome to Nateland True Confessions. Ba, ba,
Oh,
ba. I
that
think,
sounds like a very fun reality show.
can you imagine Brian and Aaron and Nate and Dusty on a reality? I can picture it so well in my head. It's like little
Yes.
confessionals, and Aaron's like, I'm the smartest one.
Yeah,
Everyone
the talking
can't
head.
compete. Dusty's sitting there, and he's like, you got any corn chips back there? You got any corn chips? I don't know why he would say that.
Yeah. And Brian goes, forget these people. This show is nothing without me.
Brian, that's just a picture of Nate. He holds up the silverware from under Aaron's family's couch.
What?
Like, I got it. I stole it.
All right. So, Nateland, episode 135 reality show. We are going
Scale 1 to
to.
10. Give it your rating.
Scale 1 to 10, I would say it's up there. It's an 8 for me. Dog.
Yeah,
You dog.
6 or 7, probably. It was pretty good, but
Are you ready for this?
uh-oh.
I don't know. Really?
3.
That low? Aw.
I mean, I
Did not
turned
make the
it
cut.
off. I was at home doing nothing. Hopefully my boss doesn't watch this. I was resting. I didn't feel well. And I was like, this is insane. When do I ever just lay around and get to watch Nateland on a Wednesday? And then I was like, well, this is disappointing. And I watched my eyelids. So.
Well, if you guys don't realize, Brandi turned into Sarah Chia. How crazy is that? Right.
Hey.
So Brandi said that if Dusty didn't have to show up for Nateland, she's not showing up for Folkland. So,
And she went to Disney.
Diva.
yeah. But she sent a rundown, so I'm going to try pulling that up here. And I appreciate that, Brandi. All right. Can you ladies see?
It's loading. Here we
There
go.
she is.
She's so cute.
All right.
Uh-oh, but we don't hear her. Wait, can you guys hear her?
No.
Okay.
You can't hear it?
No.
What
It
is
must be
happening?
playing- It must be playing in your headphones.
What is happening? Well, this is disappointing, folks.
Can I just read the rundown? I've always wanted to do this.
You
Read it while
could.
she's
I
talking,
can.
though.
Oh,
Hear
you gotta back
hear
it.
your voice over her.
Here we go.
Oh, Brandi. Okay.
Hi, I'm Brandi. On Nateland episode 135, reality shows, last comic standing winner and bath towel loving Jon Reep is back, as Dusty is out, probably doing villain stuff. Aaron brings the conspiracy vibes about the Super Bowl. Nate attempts an Australian accent while giving preacher props for their weekly sermons. Brian Boyle Bates calls out reality shows for being scripted. I mean, who has a script for their show? And we see a tattoo that's happy to death. Survivor, American Idol, Harry Styles, and the Masked Singer, Shane Sash. That was a whirlwind. I imagine she's saying something completely
She said-
different right now. Goodbye, folks.
Oh no, it started again.
Wow, Brandi, thank you for that
Well.
lovely message.
Thanks, Brandi. We appreciate that. Oh
It's a
my
team
goodness.
effort.
Well, you know, do what we gotta do. That's reality, folks.
I love to play that game where you mute the TV and like talk for the person. That felt kind of like that. I've been training for this my whole life.
Oh my.
I don't know if, Sarah, you ever get to read Eric T. Peterson's reviews he does of Folkland. Speaking of Folkland, how are you enjoying Folkland? Have I said Folkland?
I'm a fan of the reboot. For sure. Yeah.
Oh, Nice.
I think the dynamic of the three ladies works well, and it's a little
Somebody
less
thinks so.
conflict and a little more like fun.
I don't know what you mean, but welcome to the Folk Ladies. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
All the conflict happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I had to actually go back and look at the episode of Folkland I was on before, because I have like 3 outfits, and so I needed to make sure I wasn't wearing the same thing. And I was going to, and then I was like, okay, switch that around, put on a flannel instead of a hoodie.
Why do you have 3 outfits? Are you trying to be like that genius guy who only Albert Einstein?
Steve Jobs? No.
Not one of them.
No, I don't know. I just don't really like clothes shopping, and I don't go anywhere, so I don't need a lot of clothes. I actually have more than that, but I have one sweatshirt I wear almost every day, like a hoodie, and so I just need to make sure.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Like
I almost picked the same sweater I wore last week, and so I did the same thing as I checked the last episode, and I picked a different sweater.
Yeah.
So that, I guess if it was just a different color, like if it was just black, I wouldn't care, or like a neutral. But anyways, yeah.
Well, we have a little bit of an ETP recap tonight. He wanted to let us know he does own a square foot of Scotland. I'm sorry, I have the Real Housewives of Peachtree City upstairs taking place, so I'm very distracted.
Oh, Lord.
He owns a square foot of Scotland, thanks to the booze, apparently. What is this talking about? Brian Sparkles with leadership proposals. I don't even know. Jacy, you put it. So you gotta
Sparkles with leadership, proposals. I don't remember the proposals part, but I put it in there because it said that he
proposals like Dusty's sister.
You guys
okay. Yes. So ETP was sharing that he did his proposal at the Grotto of the Redemption in West Bend, Iowa. Look it up. It's pretty cool.
Well, the rate I look things up about, it's probably not going to happen.
I did not look it up, but
you're going to have to post a photo on the Facebook page, or it's not going to be seen.
True that.
But you own a square foot of Scotland. Okay.
By the way, Brandi owes me $50. For those that watched, she did not have the Louisville Slugger in a former episode. $50.
Yep. ETP went back, a quick watch, and he didn't see it.
I'll even take payment in the form of a Nateland sweatshirt.
Ooh. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Rusty says, I don't want to spoil anything for those who have not watched this episode, but what was that at the very end? I have no words. Neither do we.
What did we do? Rap? Was that the
we
rap?
did the peanut butter rap.
Did you see that, Sarah?
No, I haven't finished the episode from last week.
Oh, well, either...
I was listening to it while I was folding laundry, and then I ran out of laundry to fold, so I had to do something else.
We gotta quote that and post that quote.
Yeah.
I only listen to it until I'm done with my laundry. It's like
keeping it real.
I get that.
Motivation.
Jody W. She says, I actually paused Folkland to watch Hello World. Then I came back to finish Folkland, so it was a yummy Folkland sandwich. I had to get it watched because I've been avoiding the group ever since it came out. People are terrible, all caps, about not spoiling things. Ugh. They try to be vague, but their vagueness is still too much. My husband was willing to watch it with me, so I had to watch it at that very moment, or I would have finished Folkland first. You know me so well. Folkland sandwich. That's pretty cool. The fact that you wanted to come back afterwards, I appreciate that. And I did want to give a shout out to Talisha Ford, first time commenter, and I appreciated your comment. She said, hilarious, ladies. I'm still watching, but I haven't felt this proud to be from Kentucky in a while, and not as proud now to have worked so many years at Papa John's. So she has a little bit of history there. We're probably going to need a little bit more from you. I mean, Talisha, if you have some Papa John stories, hit us up. Yeah. Alrighty then. So, one thing I wanted to say about in the comments was this Kate the Great, a homeschooling mom, and somebody said, I can't remember, was it Nate that he said homeschooling children get a lot of their mom's opinions? I think
so. I think it was Nate.
And
yeah.
As a homeschooling mom, yes, and that's the point.
Yes, I homeschool as well, and
nice.
for several years when my kids were younger. Then I'm doing it again. It's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's their job. We're here to brainwash.
Yeah. But I love when John asked, "Do you think she makes the kids call her Kate the Great?" I thought that was very funny. Yeah. Jen, what do you think about using a bath towel to wipe your mouth after you've eaten hot wings?
Oh my gosh, I was rewatching this on the ride home, and I was severely grossed out by that whole mental picture. Then I was like, I'm only imagining it as a white towel, because what else would it be?
Yeah,
yes.
Towel.
Well, but do that for white towels? No.
Also, you gotta remember that using the towel was like the second story. Like first he was like, I used the bath mat. And then everyone's like, what? And it's like, no, like the towel. It's like, no, John, you use the bath mat.
No, because normally they don't have a bath mat. They put you put a towel on the floor sometimes.
My question is is he married? Obviously not.
Well, not now.
Not now.
He had the 7-year mark.
Just see the white towels with the stains hanging up. But yeah, so he apparently won Last Comic Standing. That's fun trivia. And you have watched Last Comic Standing, Sarah. So
yeah. I was gonna ask, did y'all watch it at all, or just no?
I've watched a couple episodes, but I can't remember what season. It was a long time ago. I remember not hating it.
Yeah. My husband and I watched it. I think we watched 3 seasons of it, and it definitely did suffer from the identity crisis thing that John was talking about. They didn't know what they were, and sometimes it was more about the stand-up, and then other times it was more about the challenges, and it was but yeah, we had a lot of fun with that show. So
yeah, I posted in the group, and I guess somebody was like, oh, they didn't even mention that Dusty was on it.
Oh, really?
I guess Dusty was on a season of Last Comic Standing, and I'm like, he's a co-host of this podcast. So maybe next week, Dusty will be like, yeah, I know that show pretty well.
Yeah.
And I know they always get people, every single week saying, you forgot to mention this, and you forgot to mention this, or this wasn't accurate. But I also thought it was funny that they didn't even mention Theo Vaughn, who's one of the biggest comedians now and their very good friend, who I remember being on The Real World and Road Rules, which was back in the 90s, early 2000s, I think.
I remember Road Rules, but I don't remember anything about it. I remember that being a show.
Same. I'm gonna have to look it up. But I do remember him being loud and funny and always cracking jokes, and people either hated him or loved him, and he was on for 4 seasons, and so they didn't even mention their own friend being on there.
That's funny. I didn't realize. I never had heard of him until 3 years ago. I don't know where I was, but I was just
when he
all of a sudden
up,
he's everywhere I'm turning, Theo, little clips on YouTube and whatever.
Well, when I saw him doing stand up or saw he had a podcast, I'm like, I know him from somewhere. like I've seen his face before. And then I realized this episode.
I'm sorry. I'm just checking back into this conversation.
Welcome.
I was very shocked they didn't talk about Dusty. Wasn't he on the stand-ups?
Well, the stand-ups was just like a series of stand-up shows.
Yeah.
It wasn't a contest.
But I think he was on Last Comic Standing. I think.
Mm.
So if you guys know out there, obviously we probably should have done some research, but
Well, I'm Googling it. So
yeah, I didn't even think about that.
You can rest easy, everybody.
We have some things in our household. We're definitely like a movie quoting family.
Yeah.
But we have this one line that we got from Last Comic Standing. And this was probably in 2010. And we still say it anytime we eat cake. Because there's a guy, Paul Foote was his name. He's a British guy. And he had a joke about why do we always talk about cake being moist? And he was like that's always the compliment, is that it's so moist, And he was just like, it's the dampest cake I've ever had. And so anytime we have cake. Damp. With a P.
Damp.
It's the dampest.
Dusty was on Last Comic Standing.
Huh. What season was he on?
I don't know. It says the videos from 2021.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of cake and reality shows, have you seen that? Is It Cake?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love
I hate
it.
That.
So sometimes
You hate it?
I hate it. I'm very impressed by it. It's very impressive, but I hate it so much. Seeing
hot take. Yeah, my kids, it's fun to watch with kids, first of all. It's something that's kid friendly. And so sometimes we'll just randomly pull something. If we're doing something, I'll just go, is it cake? And I'll get a giggle or whatever.
I love it. I think that
my daughter will send me video, little shorts of something that looks like raw meat, and then it's cake. And I'm like, stop it.
That is
disgusting. Gross. So I just hate the whole concept.
I think we should do it more often. I think we should show up with things in life and just be like, here's a stapler, and they go to use it. Boom, it's cake. Here's your son, and they go to hold it. Boom, it's cake.
It's just a baby.
At your wedding, you cut the cake? Not cake.
Not cake.
Not cake.
Just a bunch of toilet paper. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Brian is a Susan Doyle of comedy. Did you guys get that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
My favorite. And you want to know what's the funniest part about that? I only know who Susan Boyle is because when I was in college and I was getting my start in singing and I was doing the professional lessons and education and all that, I was very insecure about all of it. And I was talking to my boss. She was my work mom, sweetest woman in the world. Her name's Maria, and always makes me think of The Sound of Music. And she showed me that video to inspire me and give me confidence, and I cried during it. And then when they talked about the only reason people
I know
were so in awe was because she wasn't pretty. I was like, that was so cool, actually. Poor Susan.
I know. I mean, they weren't wrong, but when you think about it, it's so bad.
Well, I mean, it was more about the package. Like Bates said, it was she's awkward when she answered questions. She was and then she just sings, and it's just what? So
yeah, I remember her voice being crazy. Yeah.
Maybe I should act real spazzy and crazy in real life, and then when I sing, people will be like, "Whoa,"
Yeah, they'll be
maybe you should start that.
Okay, if you see me act weird, it's because I'm doing that.
I'll try and see a difference.
Okay.
Okay.
There was something. I took notes about two things because that's all that was funny. Dot collector.
I had 4 things. So
the dot collector.
Dot collector.
That was so dumb.
I don't even remember. I think it was because Jon Reep or Brian, he was trying to say he was the dot connector. But he said, "You're the dot collector." And he's like, "I'm the dot connector." And they're like, "Collector?" Great.
Gotta collect them before you can connect them.
Right.
Can we? Yeah. I have one more note. Actually, I only have two things. The ads this episode were so terrible.
Because it was cut. Yeah, they cut in ads from other episodes.
Yeah, there was one, you could tell two or something were from last week. And it was like, Dusty's really, I don't know. He's like feeling himself when he's reading these ads.
Yeah. It's like, it like gets his mojo going. He's like,
it's like worse than when Aaron was all about himself while he was reading the ads, you know?
Yeah.
But then there was this one where they were just backstage somewhere, just filming.
Well, I don't even have
it. Was like
yet.
It was like a reality TV show where the camera bombarded Bates when he got out of the bathroom. Like, do you have anything to say?
Quick! What kind of greens do you drink?
Yeah. Yeah, that was really funny. I actually think it was a hotel. So I was looking at it and I was like, there's plaques near these doors. But I thought that was funny. I know.
I bet Aaron could tell us. He probably saved the key card.
Probably.
Yeah, I know. So Sarah, what were some of your favorite parts?
Well, so I actually wrote down stuff about the commercials as well, but I had a little different take on it than Jen. Oh, I thought they were hilarious.
Perfect.
No.
Because usually, like, sometimes they have some funny little banter in the middle of the ads, but like not enough that I usually listen to them. I usually like hear an ad, I'm like, okay, skip. But I was like doing dishes. I do a lot of chores when I listen.
You're a chore girl.
Same. Yeah.
So I was doing dishes, and so my hands were wet, and I couldn't skip all the ads. You know.
Sarah the Great.
So I thought they were hilarious. The one where Brian was like, "Dusty, I didn't even know you were here," because it's like, you know.
I know. Well,
wasn't there, and then all of a sudden
I wasn't looking. I was like, "What? Why do I hear Dusty?"
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was funny, but I also, Brian had another part that I was just like, I resonate so deeply with that, Brian. When he was talking about, I think it was the episode, I can't remember the exactly what, but he was like, I think that the last episode of season 1, whatever season it was, is on YouTube. And they're like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I watched it last night. It's about 47 minutes long.
Oh, so he had a lot of details about it.
You think it's on YouTube. And it's like, because he does all the research for all his cameo people. And I have this thing where, like, I remember the weirdest stuff sometimes that where like I feel like it's like oddly specific that I have this particular memory. And I felt like that right then, because he's like, yeah, I think it's on YouTube. It's like, it's exactly 47 minutes and 13 seconds.
All right, Jen. Yeah, so I was just going to say that that's kind of like you knowing that you probably wore the same outfit and you went to research your own outfit.
That's exactly what it's like. Yes, I was like, you know what? Well, of course, it's a little different because I really wear that sweatshirt. And I have it right here. I'm going to hold it up. It's very noticeable, too. Not that anyone actually remembers it, but it's got like a very fancy hood.
Well, that looks fun.
And,
I like it.
It's actually from a company I used to work for a little while, but it's like one of the most comfortable hoodies, and it's pretty unique, except for every single person at the company has one. But other than that, like out in the real world, it's pretty unique. So
yeah, that is funny that Brian's trying to pretend like he's trying to be casual, but I'm like,
Yeah.
You know it. You know it.
That's on there. You know exactly how long it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Brian did kindly share with us. I reached out to him when I was about this episode and asked him about that diagram that he shared about the big list of reality shows. I'm gonna try and share again, but this time it's not a video, so we're gonna see. Hopefully. Yeah, I thought it was so funny when I was looking at this list because there's so many names that intersect. And let me see if I could do this.
There's a whole bunch I've never heard of before.
Can you see that? Is that hard to see?
Oh, there you go. I love how Louisiana has such a big dot.
Right. Is that where Honey Boo Boo was from? Is she on there?
Oh, God, I hope not, because that's a little too close to home.
All right, can you see that?
No, she's definitely from like a
Here are all the cake,
state.
Sarah. Here are all the cake.
Yeah.
What do you mean a South state? Texas is South.
No, I said a deep South state. Texas isn't a deep South.
What does that mean?
Okay, so I used to live in Alabama, and it's a certain kind of South, and it's probably very similar to where you're in Georgia, right?
Yeah, but
like,
I would say no, it's not similar. It just depends on where you're at. There's a major city. It just depends on where you're at.
Maybe. All I know is that when we lived in Alabama, we lived in Huntsville. So it was like, a city area. And like Texas is very different from that. Like I never saw any cowboy type of stuff in Alabama. And you see that all the time here. So
wow.
it's just like a different feel. But
Texas Justice, Big Rich Texas, most eligible Dallas.
I definitely have to tell people when I tell them I'm from Mississippi that I have shoes and that I'm from the part of Mississippi where the casinos are, because that's a whole different.
Look at this Louisiana one down here. Bad Girls Club, New Orleans.
There's a whole swamp category, and most of them were not intersecting with Louisiana.
They said swamp people.
Only rat, you know what's.
Yeah. The wedding one is wild.
Your swamp recovery? Oh, Lord, please don't tell people about that in case.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Hillbilly hand fishing.
Lord.
All right. Bridezilla, Say Yes to the Dress. I haven't really watched too many wedding ones.
I've never watched.
It's crazy.
I've never watched wedding
Cake
things.
Boss.
I got married before any of this stuff was.
We're big Cake Boss fans. Because I'm over here in the East Coast. So I'm in Connecticut. So they're based out of Jersey. So it's a pretty big deal up here. And we have a casino in Connecticut that has an actual like Carlo's Bakery franchise in it, whatever that's called, a storefront. So we were able to go and actually get like a slice of like his cake there. Last year, I think it was very moist.
Damp. Was it damp?
It was, I don't know what word is worse, and so I'm just gonna not say anything. I don't know what word is worse. Just, it was good.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Do you watch
the
Housewives, the Jersey Housewives at all?
Should I take this down?
Yeah.
Sure.
Probably good.
I was just asking because you talked about like wanting to watch the things in your region. And so
I'm tempted, but I indulged a little bit last year on Love is Blind, and I think that was like enough for a while. So I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad it wasn't bad. It was just kind of I don't know, different.
Does Jen have something to say? Do you have something to share with the class?
I just remembered. During 2020, I began a journey. It was my first podcasting journey. where we did a online show. I guess I'm telling everybody. I said I would never say this on here, but I'm gonna say it because it's just too
Oh, here we go.
This is confessionals. You called it.
Pajamagram, and I would wear my pajamas at night and interview people or sing or whatever. And it developed into a show where we watched The Bachelor. Was it Listen to Your Heart? It was the musical Bachelor.
What?
Yeah, Bachelor presents Listen to Your Heart.
Here's your rose. Here's your rose. Here's your rose.
They were like competing to be a superstar, but also to fall in love. I do that.
Hilarious.
In love. And
the universal sign.
yeah, and I got real into it. We were like recapping kind of like this, you know. Had guests on to talk about it.
Well, the one that I watch that's like I'm not proud of is I do watch Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Tell us about it.
I mean, I enjoyed that like every wife of Nateland also watches Housewives because I feel like true. when I don't think I've like and I also appreciated that like Laura does not want Nate to watch stuff with her because like my husband doesn't know I watch Housewives of Beverly Hills and I would be so embarrassed for him to find out.
He's gonna find out now.
Yeah, well, he won't watch this.
No episode.
I actually told him I was doing this, and I was like, I need somewhere that I can be on a call. And he's like, why? What call are you getting on? And I was like, I tell you, don't make a big deal about it. And then I was telling my kids at dinner, hey, I'm getting on a call, so no one can knock on the door, no one can come bother me. And my husband's like, yeah, your mom's famous. And I was like, shut up. Like, but I get embarrassed about stuff like that, so. But yeah, no, I do watch Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't know what channel it's on, so I will wait till like the season is on Hulu or Netflix or whatever, and then just watch it all in like 2 weekends, and then it's like out of my system for a while.
Wild time.
Yeah, you have a lot of laundry, so sometimes you need something a little bit more, to keep your attention a little bit longer.
There you go.
Those 2 weekends. Do you feel like you walk out a little bit different? Like you kind of have like a swag and
a little bit of attitude.
Don't talk to me like that.
I actually walk out feeling like very normal.
Grateful for your life.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm sorry I got mad about like something dumb yesterday. My problems are nothing like these people.
Well, they're all just so dramatic. It's just like, gosh, I'm so glad I just have like I don't have shouting matches with my friends and I don't turn tables over and
I thought you were gonna say shouty. You said shouty. I don't have any shouties.
That's how I feel when I turn off Nateland at the end of every episode. I'm like, wow. Normal. So normal compared to those guys.
Thank goodness, yeah. I know.
Like, greatest average normal person.
When I turn Nateland off, I feel heard. I feel like known because I'm just like, yes, these guys know what's going on.
Yeah.
I feel like my friends, it's like the last day of school and I'm not going to see them all summer. Aww. And we don't have cell phones or the internet to keep in touch. That's how I feel when the episode goes on.
Like you do, but no one ever responds to you.
No, but like that's what it's like because we don't talk to each other. So it's somehow worse because I'm watching them. Okay, that sounds weird. But, I can see them. Just kidding. Brian responds. He always responds. He's great.
He's never responded to anything I've sent in. He always talks about how he sends a little note back. And if he doesn't read the comments, he'll respond at least. And I'm like, you've never responded to me.
Not to Sarah Chia, you haven't, Brian.
Here's some Folkland drama.
The real stars of Nateland.
Get that on a reality show.
I know we're wrapping up soon, but
The most boring reality show.
You think so?
Oh, yes.
Even with all those squirrels? Are you serious?
100%. But I'd probably watch it.
I feel like his cameos or his stories are kind of like reality TV. His TikToks.
I'd probably watch him over Nate.
Really? A reality show with him?
I definitely wouldn't watch Aaron because all of it would be fake. It would just basically be Entourage, I think, is what it would be.
Yeah. I know. I just thought it was funny that
kind of has a reality show, huh? I mean, he has like a podcast.
He has like a podcast. I like his podcast, and it's about his life, and yeah, he puts up video clips and stuff. Yeah, so there was a fun question in the group of, is anybody in there, any of our folk friends, have ever been on a reality show? So if you guys want to check that out. No, I didn't actually.
Oh. I thought you were like, yeah, someone really cool asked
well, Lauren.
Somebody so cool.
Put that up.
Oh, okay.
Lauren.
And there was some really cool responses, and Jacy Rothhacker shared that Jason Clark, who does the other reptile rescue, that he was on Animal Planet for a little bit. He had a show on there, Southeastern Reptile Rescue. He's not sure if they have any episodes up on YouTube, but I was like, hey, Jason, that's pretty sweet.
I love that has reptiles in it, which I hope Jacy will watch and then say something about this. Kings of Pain. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, why does that sound familiar?
They go around. I mean, I'm sure a lot of it is fake, but they go around and get bit or stung or whatever on purpose.
Oh,
to, put us.
You watched that?
But I did read a book about a church in Alabama where they handled snakes, and the pastor used one to kill his wife. It's true.
Sarah, I wasn't done.
Well,
Your church is a bad name. We don't have snakes most of the time, okay?
Okay. And listen, I'm Pentecostal. We don't do that up here. That might be a Southern Pentecostal thing. That's not a Northeast Pentecostal place. But
actually it's some really good Pentecostal girlfriends in like middle school and high school. And one of them actually grew up to be the teacher of my pastor's son. But these girls, I mean, they would be wild girls. Like they'd be like at church all the time. And then later on, they were the girls that was wild. But I can't say anything because I was insane. So
it happens.
Now we're all grown up and
we're all humans, and we're all enjoying watching people doing, I don't know, having drama and painful experiences on their lives. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like Brian said, it's all scripted and fake. All right.
Well, folks,
this is good.
Seems a good place to stop.
Well, Sarah, thanks for being here. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Guys,
I know
please
everyone will miss Brandi,
subscribe.
But I hope.
Yes.
Wait, who's Brandi? Okay. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you later.
I'm gonna be traveling this weekend to Thomastown, Georgia.
All right.
What's the place called? Doing a show. Elsa. Gonna be Elsa.
Nice.
Sunday you can catch me in. You can catch me. Yep, Thomastown, Georgia. Super Bowl will be on, and I will be Elsa. So it'll be a good time. Come on out. Can't give you the address because it's someone's home. But
Thomastown sounds like a cartoon village.
Thomastown.
I'll be in West Lebanon. I'm not even kidding. We probably call it Lebanon up here in the north, but New Hampshire this weekend. Family trip. So it's not a show. You can't meet me. But if you see me in the store, just say, hey, Bear.
Right, you probably can.
DM me. You know how to find me. All right. Goodbye, folks.
I got the weekend off. Spending time with the family.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
All right. Goodbye, Bear. So I had a bit of an incident this week on Folkland. I'm sure that you've heard about it. we were recording the episode, and all of a sudden, my upstairs neighbor was just yelling at the top of her lungs. I mean, every word you could think just came out of her mouth. And it was pretty scary. But we were in the middle of an episode, so I just had to mute it and call 911. So on the phone, they were like, "Ma'am, what are you talking about?"
What?
I said, okay, so it's really like, I don't know. I think someone's hurting someone and it's very scary. It honestly reminds me of the Blair Witch Project. So if you could come, that'd be great. And they were like, "Do you want to talk to an officer?" And I said, I declined respectfully, of course. And then they knocked on my door. So then we were filming and there was a knock on my door and I tried to ignore it, but then the knock got even louder. So I had to just turn the camera off and the microphone and go answer the door. And they said, "Peachtree City Police Department, we got a noise complaint about this apartment." And I was like, "No, it's the one upstairs." And he just kind of looked at me and I said, "I called 911. And the other lady had her hair up in a bun and it was really messy. And she was like, "Oh, sorry."
Wild.
I was talking to Paul Blart Mall Cop, and that's my real Folkland confession.
Okay, so I don't know why. I don't know why she called. But I'm going to tell you something. That I don't even think she even know who she messing with, because if she knew who I was, she would not have called, okay? Now, I can't talk with a loud voice in my own house. Excuse me, I don't understand, all right? We were just talking, we were watching TV, and I didn't like what was on. He wanted to watch it, I didn't want to watch it. I said, "Turn it off." And he didn't want to turn it off. So I said, "You need to turn it off." And he wouldn't turn it off. So it's my house, it's my TV, I pay the bill, okay? He wants to be up there playing Xbox all day. I pay for the bills. I go out, all right? If she would have come upstairs, I would have been like, "Listen, girl, you know how it is." And we would have been fine. But no, she got to do me wrong and call the cops. It was ridiculous. I couldn't even handle it. And I'm about to see her tomorrow. Trust. I'm about to find out.
Not trust.
What took place February 9th, 10 p.m.? We got a suspicious call from a suspicious apartment number. We went there, we knocked on the door, we said, "Hey, what's going on? There's a noise complaint." And she's all like, "Oh, no, it's not me." Turns out it actually wasn't. We ended up getting the radio call from dispatch, and they said, "No, weirdo called, but the scene's happening upstairs." So it's a suspicious apartment, suspicious woman, but she's innocent. Oh, the upstairs apartment? What did we see when we got to the upstairs apartment?
Yeah.
We saw a mother, her teenage son, having a fun Thursday night, as Puerto Ricans are wont to do.
That's great.
We do want to do.
They always want to do, but they don't always get to do.
Oh.
This has been another episode of Folkland True Confessions.